Welcome everyone to the FAQ that's just come out. I thought I'd go on the old Patreon Discord and just chat with everybody.
He's not done your alright guys, we hand thing.
Alright guys.
That's better.
Fucking right, well that's me demonetised again. So if Sackville-Baggins is alive, and the Fellowship are able to states that they never count as broken, how does this affect scenarios that award victory points for the opponent's force being broken?
Right. See the ones that are in pink, John?
What?
The ones that are in pink are the ones that they did for this month. What you're doing is you're reading every single question in existence. You're like, oh, see that?
Why did no one say that until I've not read this yet? Fucking hell.
Have you ever read the FAQs before at all?
No.
No.
Who fucking reads FAQs, let's be honest here. Right,
I did the same thing as well. Making jokes about that happening. I did the same thing as well. I was like, man, that's a lot of rule changes.
Right, okay, here we go. Number 1, start again. If Legolas uses Deadly Shot special rule to hit any target on a 2+ and rolls a 1, can he use a point of might to turn that a 1 into a 2? Yes. Did anyone play it differently?
I think you're brain dead if you thought that that's not how that works.
Yeah, it seems like a silly question, and I know a lot about silly questions.
Is there something somewhere about a 1 always being a fail regardless, or?
No.
But even then, if it was, you're mighting it to make it not a 1. So, okay, what exactly can Grimbjorn and as a result Bjornings be allied with outside of the Legendary Legion? So treat Grimbjorn in the same manner as all other Wanderers in the Wild. So he has his own list that he can ally with, and what he can ally with is provided in his profile. So that's quite good. I like that change.
Yeah, because it was a bit of a shame you couldn't just take a little band of bear boys.
Yeah. So next one, if a magical power such as Sorcerer's Blast or Tremor hits the Dragon Emperor while he's riding the Palanquin, how many hits will the Royal Palanquin take? 1.
I mean, it's basically just a mount, right? So,
Yeah.
apart from then all the way to it isn't.
Apart from you can't
However, it will
knock it
still
over.
inflict a hit on him as well, so if it hits the whole
Aye.
model. But the Palanquin only takes 1 instead of 1 for each guy.
Yeah.
That's another one that seems pretty obvious to me, but
Yeah, I would have thought that as well, but maybe it's because there's 6 guys under it. So it's like
Yeah,
6
I
mini
there's
mounts.
6 guys under the win for each of them, right?
Yeah, they become 6 guys, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you dismount it, you just
Yeah.
kind of shit 6 boys out.
Yeah,
I
to be
like
fair,
it.
if you target Treebeard, you hit Treebeard and Merry and Pippin.
Nah, fair dues.
With
Oh,
his
that's
sorcerer's
passengers, right?
Yeah, I can understand why someone might think you hit all of them or something.
Yeah.
No, they're just like wee Transformers, like when they're in the Palanquin. They turn it into a Megazord, so there's only one guy.
Royal Mount.
Assemble! That's why they can all kick without a -1 to hit.
Aye.
Fucking stupid!
The big fucking telescopic extendo legs.
Aye.
It's
Absolutely.
This with more space than inside.
Fuck it. So, if the Dragon Emperor of Rune dismounts either normally or as part of heroic combat, can the Black Dragons that replace the Palanquin move themselves during heroic combat? Fair.
That again is people that just can't read the mount rules.
I
So that just
don't
follows
know.
the same rules as every other mount that sticks around after you dismount.
Fair dues.
Yeah, I suppose.
I suppose the argument would be is they're no longer a mount, because you can.
Well,
like,
it's
become
the same
6
that when you
dudes,
jump off
yeah.
a warg, it's no longer a mount as well.
That's, yeah, fair.
I guess it's just another one of the things that the Palanquin's an obscure enough thing that it's worth clarifying all these.
It is fair
It's technically obvious.
When Razgush's War Leader of the North Special Rule references Orc Captains, is that only the Orc Captain profile or any other words? So I choose Moran Orc Scorebag. Only the Orc Captain profile.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like a
It should be
clarification.
English questions, yeah, like English questions, like
Yeah.
is that an orc captain or an orc captain? I think it's the people being slimy, like try to sneak things.
Try to sneak things.
An orc captain is an orc captain. It has the orc and captain in the name.
I know there's a guy who really liked the idea of taking, if you take the Gundabad Orc Warriors, they're just Gundabad Orc Warrior, so it's the same thing, but they've got it in their name. And just as a meme, he wanted to take a whole army of Gundabads with Razgush, so that they would have the hatred
of.
and the real ones for the ancient enemies. So
That
he's
would be
going
a
to
bit
be
spicy. In Assault on Lothlorien Legendary Legion, can Druzhag take fell wargs in his warband even though they're not listed? No. Fair
I
enough.
can understand why some people might think they could, because it is something that's listed on his profile that he can include them.
Yeah.
Can you take regular wargs as part of the Legendary Legion?
Aye, they're just in
Aye.
it normal.
Yeah, but he can normally include fell wargs in his warband, but it's not part of the Legendary Legion.
Fair enough.
There it is.
Just in case there's a potential it could be missed out Legendary Legion, so it's a good question, I guess.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
a lot of stuff they forgot to print in that bit.
Like two of the
Right,
wraiths
good
have
question.
a 6-inch black dart. That was totally not by accident. In Assault on Lothlorien Legendary Legion, do supporting models gain +1 bonus to wound for the Ruthless Savagery special rule? No.
That's if they have a goblin and an orc in the same combat, they both get +1 to wound.
Yeah, I thought that was the case
so like
anyway. Because it has to be in
animal
combat,
combat,
doesn't it?
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
exactly same as animosity.
Pretty much. And is
Do
that one?
supporting units get the +1 for animosity?
No, there's none of those rules give you that.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it all has to be like actually in combat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Next one, Bjorning's Great Resilience. On a natural 6, the wound is ignored. I think that's a good change. I don't think it breaks them. I think they'll still be pretty strong. But the 1 in 3 chance of giving up a wound was a bit broken.
Was it 5 up?
Yeah, it was 5 up before.
So it's not even
Especially
like,
Fury now, kind of.
Yeah, so it's just like a 6. It's a natural 6. So you can't even make it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Was
think
it a
that's
natural
yeah,
five up?
I don't. Yeah, that's actually quite rough. That it's a natural 6.
That's fucking hilarious because the whole
Double
reason
up.
they
It feels like it
they-
should have been
Ah,
a
that's
6
because
instead
of-
of a natural 6.
So what
If it
was that
wasn't a
corner?
natural 5, then it's twice as bad.
I think natural 6 might be over nerfing them.
Aye, I agree with that.
I think I think it should just be a 6 instead of natural 6.
Nobody would
so,
ever
like,
make that anyway, that part.
Oh, you
they?
would. In the previous FAQ, there was a question of can you might the
Right.
bear say, and they said yes,
Right.
and then they just went, oh,
No.
well, we can't.
You know, got to love contradictions. Assault on Lothlorien additional rules. Musgar must always be the army's leader. I thought that was the case anyway.
I thought that was also the case, but it's just
No,
that you
they-
have to include them.
Any of the shamans, yeah.
Oh, anyway.
You basically always made it Druzhag.
Oh, the orc one.
Is he not
He's
like
like-
the highest
Yeah,
He's,
tier
he's,
hero?
he's the one with the bats and that. But he's got.
No, because Ian always plays Musgar the leader. Because he just allied in one orc with a
And
banner.
he always goes Druzhag leader.
Was it?
I said that earlier.
Oh, is it?
But
Alright.
do you not have to go like the highest tier hero as the leader?
Yeah, but they're all the same tier.
They're all Valar in that legion.
Or
Yeah,
is it Valor, rather?
Okay, that's not bad.
Anyway.
And they've also changed it so that the Legion must include more Goblin models than Orc models. I mean, not to include, sorry, other way.
Yeah. You gotta have
Feast
more.
on Assault on Lothlorien player tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Aye, that's kind
It's
of
not-
sad that they did that.
I think the army's still good. I think it's still a good army. It's just not going to be at the top 3 tables of every single tournament.
That just means you won't get as many shamans, like Goblin shamans, is that right?
Yeah, but
Aye,
the Goblin
you
Shaman's
might.
going to carry the list.
You might drop shamans because the only bit that happens now.
Right.
the question I saw earlier was about is it the Warg Marauders? Like, do they count as 3 Goblin models or 1 Goblin model?
That's what it says. Does it say you may not have
I'd
more
have to look
models with the
I'd have to
keyword?
look
Yeah, it specifically says Legendary Legion may not include more Goblin models than Orc models, and it is still 1 model, the
Yeah.
Marauder.
That should get 3 Goblins then for 1 model.
Yeah.
Just dismount them all.
4, yeah, roll, yeah, good that. Roll carriage, and that should get 4 models now.
Cool.
It's also a great model, I love it. I'll play the
I
game.
know, you're losing value on the Marauder if you dismount the Goblins.
So we're on to War and Rohan now, and there's only one change. So, you know, Assault on Helm's Deep Break the Walls changes it from reroll everything to a reroll 1.
Was it reroll everything?
Yeah, it used to be reroll
but
everything.
it used to be reroll all hit rolls and scatters. You didn't reroll into ways or anything like that. Obviously, that doesn't make you reroll into ways either. But I think that really hurts that Legion.
We say Kami is the Isengard player here.
Yeah, the expert will watch all my games with Isengard.
And now there works.
At least this time.
I don't know. It's just what's the point in taking that Legion now? You get a Giga Captain. That's it.
Well, no, you get the warband space.
Your bombs reroll as well.
I think it's
Are
still.
you taking any of that stuff over Saruman?
I just don't take the
At low point
ballistas. Just
levels,
take
yeah.
fucking bombs.
Yeah, like if you play like a 500 point tournament,
No, the bombs are 2D now, so they only explode. Like, on
Oh,
one
don't go up the way.
they don't explode over walls.
Well, the most I think can get in the bin anyway, because they like designed the whole Legion wrong with making it shooty. Like you just sit
Aye.
out the table and play, stare at Helm's Deep instead of assaulting Helm's Deep.
Aye, they actually like attacked the castle in the film. They didn't just sit and shoot ballistas at it.
Yeah, it'll still be a pretty good Legion in low point tournaments.
Yeah,
We'll change it to something like
Because the
you
warband
automatically-
size really helps the army.
you automatically get a 6 on all your claim tests. There you go.
Aye.
That's important. That's
You're-
what you
they
get.
should do something. Maybe
What
make
is-
the
what is
maybe make the
the warband
berserkers like
thing?
really strong.
It gives everyone an extra 6.
So guys are brilliant. Alright, okay. So guys, I'd be interested to put some lists together for that without Legion and having characters like Lurtz and that in it. So you've actually, instead of the Giga Captain, so you've actually got striking things.
Well,
Yeah,
seeing how
Lurtz
it
is,
translates.
it's the problem is Lurtz is like 90 points for a mod for like not that great a character.
The way I was looking at it was it's the only real way to use like Uruk-hai warriors because you can't include them in either of the other Legion Legions for Isengard, the scouts.
Or
So,
Dunland, aye.
for example, in your battle host box, you get 20 of them. Get 20 of them.
I think standard Isengard works well though. Like
For sheer numbers.
Saruman.
for low points, I think Defenders of Helm's Deep will still be a competitive option compared to Lurtz.
Yeah, you just probably see more bombs than. I don't know. I'd like to have seen something like more like maybe make the berserkers a bit stronger or something like that. Something chibi and like they're actually trying to assault the castle, not just fucking shooting ballistas and crossbows at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
in a real scene, you'd shoot everyone try to shoot everyone, starve them out. Fucking.
aye.
If you give it like
Aye,
But this isn't. This is after the siege. This is the assault part. This
Yeah.
isn't called the siege of Helm's Deep. This is called the assault of Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
I'll still be taking it.
Right, we're moving on. We're moving on. I can't read.
When during a turn can Lotho Sackville-Baggins use his considerable wealth special
We've
rule?
got to do it in a funny voice.
I'm doing it in a funny voice.
Is he
And
funny?
how long do the effects
It's your
last
normal
for?
voice.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. The first bullet point states Lotho can use it when an enemy model declares a charge against him. The other two can be used at any point in a turn. In all cases, the effects last until the end of the turn.
I don't actually know what her his rule
Like
is.
10 Hobbit Giga Chads.
Is it basically like it's the meme of I'm going to pay you $100 to fuck off?
No,
That's the
Except
golden
you
king
don't have that when you charge them.
Except it's I'm going to pay you 7 bags of gold to
to fight better.
be fight 10.
Is the reason the question was asked, his rule was incomplete in that it didn't say when you used it. So it's like you can spend a will to get +1 fight whenever you want, and if you can do it at any time, it means you could do it at any number of times because you'd be like, oh, it's currently a point in the
okay.
turn, I'm going to get +1 fight, and then 2
Alright.
seconds later, it is now a different point in the turn, I'm going to get +1 fight. Blah 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 blah. So they have confirmed that
It's not.
Aye,
You
because
can't
at
get
any
fight
point
time
you can-
hobbits.
lol.
It
There's
doesn't
no
say,
once per turn or anything like that.
it
And
does say
then-
one turn. So say for example, if you charge one of my units and I'll say right, I'll put up to fight, but what they fight 2 at the moment, hobbits,
It
Probably
depends on the
three.
Hobbit.
and then you charge a second unit to, I'll say well let's fight 4. You charge a third unit, it's fight 5.
Aye, if you want.
If you want to.
Or
And
you can
also-
just
you can
hold
just
it.
have Gandalf strength and will on him the whole time, so he gets like will 1,000,000, and then someone goes on to one of your hobbits, is ready to heroic combat. They declare the heroic combat, and then you go, but he's fight 10 by the way.
It isn't at any point. You can wait. You can wait for them to have done a heroic strike and be like, lol,
Yeah.
I see you rolled a
You
6.
can put them up to
So they
fight
have-
10 like right before the combat starts.
Yeah, it's insane that they've released this FAQ, and like I can see that being something that they accidentally miss out. But after this question has been asked multiple times, they've gone back and specifically not ruled it out.
So
It's
you,
obviously intentional. Well,
Based.
my shadow.
Last week that
Raising me Cobra Kai Club in the shadow.
Mary can strike up to fight 9. A fight 9 hobbit, that's ridiculous.
what with
Or
Lotho?
Lotho can just pay himself to be fight
What,
10.
yeah.
I will-
Ordinary
you know
has to
what, I'm
mimic
keeping
a
the money.
fraction of Lotho's power.
Like, obviously, Gandalf took the wrong Baggins to take on Snipe.
I think
Right.
he could have saved Boromir, just got Boromir up to fight 10.
That's true.
Right. Match play guide next then.
Yeah, well, you can just read this one.
There's only 2 in this one. If when a siege engine lands a hit, it would also deal a hit to other models within a certain range of the initially hit model, such as the area effect rule of the Gondor Battlecry Trebuchet. Do these additional hits also gain the +1 to wound in a Clash by Moonlight scenario? No. Cool.
Fantastic.
No, splash damage, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't get the
Yeah.
+1 to wound on the splash damage.
Could
I
have
don't
been
really
here.
get the reasoning. Like, the reasoning that you get +1 to win is because you can't see the arrow coming. You still can't see that shit coming.
You
Well,
can't-
no, just the guy that gets hit can't see it. Everyone else can. Oh, there it is!
Mate, you're about to get.
Move! Oh no!
Everybody else sees the pal get half.
Him that hits the ground and you hear it. So you're like, what the hell was that?
Aye,
If you've got
like
like
that.
reaction speed like the Flash,
Aye.
Where you watch your mate explode next to you, you've got time to get out of the way of his bones and insect splashing.
It just shows you there's no thought to this. Just like, fuck it, let's just say no for the laugh.
Yeah.
You just toss a coin. Like,
Aye, fuck it.
they get a dartboard of all the questions they've been asked. Like, right, we're doing that yet? Yes or no? Aye, no this time, lads.
Next FAQ, yes.
Is it Family Guy when they've got the manatees that like write their jokes for them? In double scenarios, when a scenario says it continues until one force is reduced to 25% of its starting numbers, does this mean one player's force or the entire doubles army? The entire doubles army. So I guess
think
like
that's how I would have
no,
played it before.
just killing one guy and then breaking the entire force.
That's probably, for example, of the doubles if I took like 2 big models and you took 20 big models. You kill one of mine and break the whole army. Aye, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I think that's everything in the match play.
Gondor War just has the same thing about not having hordes of Mordor stack for spear supports. It's the same thing as the Assault on Helm's Deep, not Helm's Deep, Assault on Lothlorien one.
You reading ahead and spoiling it?
It's just support
There's
bonus +1 to win.
There's a structure to this, Finlay.
Actually, if you want to read back, there's something that we didn't read.
Which one?
Which is in the Defence of the North. But it's because it doesn't exist. They didn't touch the Sex Offender King at all.
Oh yeah, fucking Dragon Emperor. That's
He's
a
still
new-
selling way too many models, so
Yeah.
he gets untouched.
He's not selling enough models. They need to give him.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's cut 20 points off him.
It gets a buff.
it's not that you
Eight
clearly
people
don't care about abused children.
I don't know.
Right. Finlay spoiled Gondor at War for everyone, but
Plus, if you're really excited, you can't go and still read
No,
it.
that's how everybody I know played it anyway, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. Right, so
Armies of the
Gondor.
Hobbits.
Oh, there's quite a few in here. That's what I was going to say. Like, this is actually the worst FAQ they've ever released because it just means that if you're going to nerf all the big things, you make sure you get them all. They've just left the fucking Sex Offender, Dragon Emperor there.
it's not
Fine.
worse. It isn't
You're just
a
going to
big
see
FAQ.
more of him. Like, people are going to go, I'm not going to use Assault on the Lothlorien anymore. I'm just going to go back to the Dragon Emperor, and there are going to be hundreds of them, and I fucking can't be arsed with that. So it's the worst.
You will see loads of them, but at least they did actually nerf stuff that needed nerfed in ways that
I know.
doesn't make it unplayable.
That's true.
And they also didn't change the rules of the game and then go, lol, we don't care, like they have in the past with the black dot and horses and that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's
Still,
not-
I'm
that's
still
what it's
personally pissed off because I fucking hate the Dragon Emperor. It's a stupid model in
PTSD
the game.
fair, playing them fucking 3 times.
Yeah, you go to a fucking tournament and you get fucking 3 games of Dragon Emperor and kill yourself. Anyway, when an opponent selects one of their hero models to be the bearer of a large sum of gold, as per the Master of Lake Town's Dragon Sickness special rule, do they have to tell the Master's controlling player which hero they've selected? Yes.
Yeah,
I think I've always seen it played as it being kept secret.
No, because then you could lie.
I think it's usually secret on accident because you'll forget that's a rule, and then halfway through the game, you're like, "Oh, who did you pick for the bag of gold?" Ah, I didn't. I guess it's this guy.
The one time I played Lake Town was my first ever game, and Chris mentioned the rule to me and showed me, and I was like, alright, okay. And I think I gave it to like Shagrat and tried to like charge him in. I didn't get near him, but so the time I've played it, I've used the rule.
Because that's what Shagrat needs. Like he wasn't going to kill the master without that rule.
It didn't even get close to me, I think, because Maelstrom, so he was in the opposite end of the table.
You didn't need that to Shagrat.
Aye. So the next one. Do you want to get that one, Jamie?
Yeah. When Bjorn or Grimbjorn uses Crushing Strength Brutal Power Attack, if the target saves a wound with Fate, does this stop Bjorn from rolling against for another Strength 10 hit? No. Bjorn or Grimbjorn will continue to inflict Strength 10 hits until he fails to wound roll.
Is that basically the...
He basically keeps going, doesn't he? Like he goes.
Yeah, I think that again, that's just somebody not reading the rule properly.
Oh, fighting talk from Finley.
It might be like
get to Specsavers.
Languages, the rule could be written.
Yes, I suppose
less
I'm not
clearly,
taking
like
into
German or
consideration how it's translated into other languages. That is fair to, but like it does say specifically on the rule that it's just if the wound roll is successful. It doesn't mention if your opponent fates it, you stop.
Yeah, so it's not a successful wound; it's a successful wound roll.
Is it the same as the Kyrian's like machine gun bow?
Yeah, but a successful hit roll.
Pew 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 pew. Right, on you go.
Right, and then arguably the big one here, the Master of Lake Town. Add the following special rule: who would have the nerve to question my authority? Passive: the Master of Lake Town trusts no one and doesn't take kindly to others undermining his rule. If your army contains the Master of Lake Town, then he must be your leader, regardless of the heroic tier of other hero models in your army, unless your army includes other hero with a similar rule. Additionally, if you are including an army of Lake Town allied contingent as part of a convenient alliance or impossible alliance, then the Master counts as a hero of fortitude, both when building your army and during the course of the game.
Right.
Loses 5 models.
So I know that's a really big nerf, but I've got like a bit of a funny observation over that. So that's a rule on the Master Lake Town's profile, and it makes him a hero of fortitude when he's in those allies. Does that mean you could charge, like if you're playing like Khazad Doom, you could charge a hero of valor into the Master of Lake Town, have Floy turn off that rule, turn him into a valor temporarily, and heroic challenge him?
It depends. Does it say that the rule is a passive rule?
It does say
Yes,
it's passive
it does.
rule, yeah, the whole thing.
Well, you could do that.
So you can temporarily turn him into a hero of valor just to heroic challenge.
I'm sure he would accept that challenge. Is that the first time they've ever just invented a rule through the errata?
I can't think about it.
So the one I can think of, but there might well be another one.
Because I know they've forgotten, like they forgot to get Aura from Woodland Creature, but that's already a rule in the game that they just.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever
left people out of
invented
armies
rules.
before, so I wouldn't be surprised. But
I think they've added like bits to rules, like add a sentence or whatever. But yeah,
Master
I mean,
Lake better watch out for Floyd turning him into a valor.
They left an Arian out the whole game, but apart from that.
Aye.
Again, I don't think this like kills the faction or anything because you've still got cards and like.
Makes sense. I'm definitely all for that. I think the Lake Town spam is starting to get a bit.
I think it's a fairly elegant way to fix the problem that seemed like really difficult to fix.
I would have just reduced his the range of his banner effect to 1 inch, and then it would have been 12 with the army bonus, and then just absolute shit without.
Aye.
So we banner.
Cause that.
Oh no, you're right. It's quite a good way.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it, definitely. Because I didn't think you could just ally him with just. You just take what 300 points, 400 points, and then you've got like 400 for all the big toys, and you've still
Now
got
you
like
have
50
to also
troops or
invest
something.
in Bard as well.
Which still isn't even bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it means
Well,
that
it's
you've
still
got
competent.
a bigger investment, so it's,
Yeah.
it's harder to just chuck in like Saruman and a hero into your list as well.
Yeah, it's definitely
Whatever you overpay
a
on
very
Bard,
good change.
You make back in the militia being cheap.
That's true. No, I'm definitely happy with that. Does that think we'll see more Arnor spam again, or
And more hobbits.
more
Oh,
hobbits?
that was the one, like, hobbits have been, like, floating about, like, very occasionally you see someone take them. Like, you'll see more hobbits now with Merry.
And the fact they can be found hidden.
Fucking-
Well, yeah, obviously, everyone's going to be doing that. Like, everyone.
Hobbit
That
chats
would be one of
run.
those things that gets shut down by TOs being unfun.
If a model making a dual roll would have a modifier applied to their roll and they choose to reroll due to the effect of a banner, special roll, or some other effect, does the modifier also apply to the reroll? Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
I could see someone being an arse about that and saying, well, you got +1 to the roll, but you chose to reroll. It's like, so I'm glad this is clarified because
Yeah.
that is something that you get into an argument about.
I think that's possibly like a 40k-ism coming
Aye.
in, because in 40k you apply modifiers after rerolls, don't you? So someone coming across from another game.
I don't know. I don't play that shite. Right, next 3.
You just paint
Nah,
it.
you just paint it.
Yeah. To play different
if-
rules with it.
If a hero has declared a heroic defense and would normally be wounded on a 6/4+, then do both rolls now have to be a natural 6 as per the rules of heroic defense?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I play
That's
this.
literally just in the rules of heroic
I've seen
defense.
so many people argue it. It's 6x4. It's like, I'm glad they will now shut up.
Yeah, like that's literally just what heroic defense says as well.
Yeah.
Like,
How often do you call heroic defense against somebody that has to roll a 6/4?
I think it's worth it. See, if
Like
it's just a
Durham.
6, no, but if it's a 6/4, then I think it's worth it because it's 6.
especially
It's
since you can't bite into it as well.
I've done it with boys like Durham before.
You get a lot of that where like a dwarf hero is just surrounded by a million guys. And
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're going to roll something, so I might as well.
Can a monster that has been immobilized/transfixed still use brutal power attacks? No.
Cool.
Again, that's obvious, I think.
Fucking.
Right,
Finley's
we'll just-
slashing.
Yeah, he's just taking no prisoners.
I know.
We'll move swiftly on.
Savagery.
If a hero with a two-handed weapon rolls a 6 in their dual roll, which then suffers a -1 penalty due to the rules for two-handed weapons, can they then use a might point to boost the rolls back to a 6? Yes, the roll has essentially been changed from a 6 to a 5, so the might point can be used to boost it back up to a 5 to a 6.
I'm sure that's been clarified before, is it not?
Possibly, it's possibly changed and then they've changed it back. They are wont to do things like that.
It might be one of those ones that like it was in the FAQ and then they deleted it because they brought the new rulebook and then they've like brought it back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good
Good
point.
chance for that, actually.
I was going to say, they still haven't clarified if it counts as like a natural 6.
Well, that's in the rulebook. Like, it's only natural if it's the number that you.
Well, the next rule is the one that I was actually wondering about.
Does the
Oh, the
piercing
piercing strike.
strike special?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let
Do
you.
you want me to do it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't read. Remember.
That's fine. Does the piercing strike special strike increase a model's strength for the purpose of special rules such as monstrous charge? No. Piercing strike only increases model strength for the purpose of making strikes.
I
Well,
get you.
those Australian players have been cheating with their can to go to strength 5.
So you could, so if you
Oh, is
get
that
charged
from
by
the special
say-
YouTube channel that we all know?
Tail Beast, you can say, well, I'm using Pierce Strike, actually I'm strength X. You don't knock me over. Is that what it means?
It
I mean,
means
you can do that.
Yeah.
Some people thought you could do. You could do it with like a heroic strength because that actually affects your strength stat for the turn, but you couldn't do it for a piercing strike specifically for the strength.
But like, what can players used to do is piercing strike so they knock strength 4 heroes off their horse.
Right.
It's been sorted. That's a good change. When a demolition charge explodes, does it hit models that are in range but on the other side of a wall, such as a rock face or equivalent?
So,
You know, the whole point of the bomb charge was to blow up a wall, but apparently now a wall stops the bomb charge.
well, it just says an impassable one. Like if it's a wee one you could jump over, that's not impassable. So it would-
Oh, so the Helm's Deep walls are not impassable, you can just walk over them, aye. Is that-
To be fair, Hell's Deep walls aren't impassable, you can climb them.
yeah, you
What's
just get a
that?
ballista
Yeah.
and you jump over.
What's that based off of though? Because doesn't the definition of impassable wall, wouldn't that change depending on the height of the model?
Yeah, like it's like how high does a wall need to be to block a
Is
bomb.
it then based off of the bomb and it's half the height of the bomb?
So do we need to do like some physics equations during the game? Like, oh, this bomb will do this much force.
I think
Will
we
that
need
destroy?
a FAQ for this FAQ. Explaining.
It specifies.
Confuse people more.
Yeah, it specifies a tall wall, but that
what's
doesn't mean
tall?
that doesn't mean anything.
Like Helm's Deep by any
Well,
chance?
it's impossible because
The bomb only fucks with guys in walls that are 6 foot, like minimum.
I mean,
Any
man,
5 foot walls, like that.
So they can't kill hobbits then? Is that how it works?
But so all they had to do was just like put an extra brick on.
What about a troll? A troll is higher than a tall wall, so can it not kill trolls anymore?
Yeah, is it based on the model that's been blown up or the bomb for like how much of
It's just
over the wall they
fucking
have to be?
stupid.
Like, is it harder to blow up a hobbit than it is to blow up a troll?
What if the troll carries the bomb?
Well, that's
It's still only
what if it picks up and holds it up here and
Holds
blows it
up
up?
the head and then says
It'd be completely fine because it's a bomb, right?
He's
So
good.
the arms.
Well, then it says, does it say specifically impassable walls or impassable terrain?
It just says-
Impassable terrain such as a wall, rock face, or equivalent.
Because we all know
So,
walls
fuck
are
it,
impassable, aren't they?
Because,
Every
like,
wall is
impassable
impassable.
terrain, that's often declared like at the beginning of the game. You'll say this pile
Yeah.
of massively fucking spiky rocks is impassable. So then that wouldn't actually matter in terms of who can jump over it or whatever. It's just whatever you declared at the start of the
Nah,
game
it's
is
just,
impassable.
it's just when they put wall and it's like
But
the
it's
whole
just-
fucking point of the bombs was to
Yes.
blow up a
If you've got
wall.
like a closed building, you can't detonate inside and kill folk outside, or vice versa.
But why? That's how bombs work.
Shut the fuck
Well,
up.
Have you not seen the footage of your at the moment?
No, never happened.
Isn't a closed door impassable? So you can just shut the door.
That's it. Oh, yeah.
Someone set the
Not
bomb up
today,
outside.
Rikai.
Just fucking close your front door.
Apparently.
What if you can you use like Galadriel's bathwater to block the bomb from detonating? Just carry that about with you.
Is there
It
also
impassable,
is there
isn't
not some objectives that you can't stand on top of?
Yeah. You put it in the doorway and that's you safe forever.
No, I think
Yeah.
you can always stand on objectives.
Can you always
Yeah,
stand?
You can always.
Objective you can't stand on.
What was that, Finley?
I said I can't think of an objective you can't stand on.
No, like heavy objects or anything like that. You stand on heavy objects?
What about Azog's tower?
Does the bomb block the
a
bomb?
whole different thing.
Yeah, does the bomb block the bomb? Because
Oh,
it's-
No, they blow each other up, sure.
bombception.
Aye, that's actually in the rules.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
that is
actually-
in the rules. They change it.
Um,
God, I want to see two bomb-heavy assault and Helm's Deep Legions fight each other.
So let's just
Yeah.
summarize that. The bomb cannot blow up terrain such as a wall when it was designed to do that. So that's right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. So in the way, add the following paragraph at the end of the section. When a model makes a shooting attack that targets a war beast or a monster with the fly special rule, when they are determining models that are in the way, they ignore models, both friendly and enemy, that do not have any of the following keywords: monster, siege engine, war beast. If the target model is engaged in a fight, then the in the way test for being in combat still applies.
I hate that rule.
I love that rule.
That's great.
because
So
yeah,
that-
why is the
I
fell
don't
beast
like that.
hiding behind like one orc?
Well,
Right,
it's
so
Well, the rules
why
are
have you
any
charged
part
for
of the
that
model.
beast though as well. Then.
Aye, exactly.
No, Finley used this in Tabletop Simulator to cheese me. He just had his Felbeast behind, like 2 ranks of orcs, and flew over, hit me, flew back.
But that wasn't to stop shots. That was to
That was just
stop
blind.
your horses.
He also did stop shots.
You can still
I was like,
shoot.
how's your guy flying above the battlefield being blocked by like 5 foot
No,
tall?
you can't. He didn't stop shots.
Like,
I
it
didn't get-
says the
didn't
siege
shoot it.
engines can block the shots. So, like,
Yeah.
you can the wee, tiniest, the small dwarf ballista that's smaller than a dwarf.
What about a bomb?
He's going into it.
Blocks
That
that.
counts. That's fucking, like, minuscule.
Yeah, so
pieces.
does like a Avenger bolt thrower sitting like way in front of a fell beast.
What's the smallest monster in the game?
Cave troll.
Gundabad ogres, probably. They're quite short and fat. Or a cave troll, yeah.
Half trolls?
What's the Dweller in the Darks like? Are they monsters? Or,
They're,
Yeah,
They're
they are,
quite
but
small.
got quite a big profile, yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen-
Kind of stretched out.
they're a lot bigger than you'd actually think they are looking at them in the book.
So,
The base is big, but the Dweller, the Watcher in the Water isn't too tall in actual height.
suppose.
So,
get the tentacle.
does a bomb count as a siege
Yeah.
engine?
No, it's an object.
No. So just a dwarf ballista will block in the way, but
A dwarf which
I'll-
is larger than the
well,
ballista won't.
Right, okay, cool. So, overall thoughts? What do you think, Bucky? Shite? Oh,
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think the big elephant in the room that they didn't address is the Dragon Emperor.
yeah, a dragon in
Do
the room.
anything.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, John, because I know that you've played him quite a bit. I've not, so I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's just the model. I don't care that it's like strong. It's just the rules don't make sense. Like the guy,
He's
guys
like for
can
some reason like
strike,
immune to being paralysed, or like
to be knocked
all
over.
the negative effects of being paralysed.
Like Paniquins are horrific in combat, but he's amazing in combat on top of this thing. You know, just he shouldn't have like amazing combat skills when he's on the Paniquin because you just stab one of the guys in the leg and it fucking falls over. Like,
Is the Pangolin like bigger than his spear as well?
Aye.
Like, how is he
Yeah.
even reaching folk?
He just
Like,
runs about on
Marty-
top of
it makes no
Marty
sense.
paralysed mine at here, and he just went okay because he didn't get knocked over, so he's still no trapped. He doesn't fight anything, but he's still the 12-inch ban on the +1 fight, so he just sat there and survived even though he was paralysed for the entire game.
It's just utterly shite. I don't get that at all. I don't care if he's overpowered. I don't mind overpowered models as long as the rules kind of make sense for what the model is. You know, if he was on like a big dragon or a Komodo dragon or something, buying that makes more sense. The way the rules are written.
I've seen a guy, I played a dude who's got, I think it's a 3D print. He's just got him like a big ox that's heavily armoured.
Yeah, I've
he's
seen
got
him do something
two
like
bodyguards next to him, and there is Palanquin.
that. Aye.
But that looks quite key.
It
I
makes,
think you
makes
should
more
be able to
sense.
be knocked prone, but like still stay on as Palanquin.
Yeah, something like
Like,
that.
but you can be put prone still.
Like he
He
falls.
doesn't get dismount.
I think the problem with it is it's like such a niche set of rules to use the Palanquin.
It's just to sell the model. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that it's like anything they do to it is just doesn't make any sense because it's like niche rules
Just
within
don't-
niche rules.
Don't make it
My,
in the
my
first
main
place.
problem
Then.
is he's already a ridiculously difficult model to kill, and then if you ever set up a trap on him, they just fly along with their Witch King and hurl something into the combat, and now suddenly everyone's
Yeah, but
prone
every
on
other
the
model in the
Dragon
game
Emperor.
has to look out for that. Why doesn't the Dragon Emperor? No one else has to.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else has the issue of like playing Ents, and you've got to make sure every combat is lined up correctly so one guy can't get thrown into your. You know, like.
And
Why
it's
is the
like,
Dragon
oh,
Emperor
you've
the
not
only
got the
one?
Witch King nearby, I'll just use Burger to cast Tremor, and now everyone else but him's not prone. And it's even worse as well because he's the only one that's not prone, so you can still just beat the shit out of your hero that's prone on the floor
Yeah.
that set up a trap on him.
Or you shoot a Mordor catapult at it and it knocks everyone in the combat.
Yeah.
And not him.
You might just see more siege weapons now because a lot of people are going to be running Dragon Emperor. You might just see
Yeah.
what
like
Minister
more
Ruthless
trebuchets.
just bring a trebuchet for that.
I think that may be right.
You're going to be seeing all those Mordor siege bowls allied into Gulliver to give them in the ways.
Just set up my siege bow like in front of it
But
so you can.
I think Gulliver should always going to have a protection control now.
Look, that's what Burder's for.
Stand in the way.
Every bodyguard.
Gulliver, then the Witch King, and then Burder just in a big wee line.
It does put Angmar in a difficult position because there's like there's a lot of times where I've played Dale into Angmar because God Pallet plays Angmar quite a lot and I play Dale quite a lot. And even with the in the ways, Gulliver's in a fuck ton of danger against armies that have lots of strength 3 shooting. And now it's just like 20 times worse for him.
Yeah. So you need
Aye.
to hide behind
Angmar
trees and
gets
shit.
a little bit of stress out of this.
I see if you use your normal movement, do you still count as in the way? Like so if you only move
because all
3
the badges
inches.
got the fly keyword, it doesn't matter that you used it.
So like
Yeah, if you're
That's what I
walking on
get.
the ground, you're
What
also
if Floyd comes
simultaneously floating through the air.
yeah, so if Floyd turns off my Guahir's fly,
Yeah,
They've
no,
still
it's
got
in the way.
fly.
I don't get in the ways because I'm still
No,
flying.
they've still got the special rule. They just don't get to use it.
Oh yeah, all Floyd does is cancel the effects. Of the
So
roll.
Gwahir's still
No.
got fly, but he can only walk, but he still suffers all the negatives of fly.
So if you go
Yeah.
against like the Ranger heavy Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm thing, then if you don't have your flying thing already near a terrain piece, then you can turn off your fly so you can't even go hide behind terrain. And then
Right.
shoot you. Although Gullivar has 6-inch move rather than 3. But
I think you could, if you chose to walk, you could still get in the ways.
You definitely should.
Should,
in my
but
opinion.
they don't, because they don't think about these FAQs. They just like mongle them out.
Fair.
I'd be interested to hear how much playtesting actually went into these.
It's probably just
Probably
complaints
not a
from the
lot.
community.
Possibly none. Like it's probably
Just
they'll get a
feedback.
question and go, oh, "This is how I think it should be played."
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the like Defense of the North stuff, and that came out didn't look like it was playtested at all. Like I was playing Defenders of Erebor at Scouring, and that when that first came out, it was a complete fucking shambles because you need to have all 4 heroes within range of somebody.
Just the
banner effect.
It kind of feels like a lot of like the FAQs and stuff for SPGs. You just kind of throw a bunch of books into a room where a guy's got schizophrenia and just hope he comes out with something good.
So it's like they get you to do it.
Yeah, basically.
It's finally the secret one. He's like, I hope I'm in the right mood today, guys. Woohoo!
It's Finlay about to buy an Easterling's army.
No, Finley's going to borrow someone else's Easterling army.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nah, he's not gonna Finlay buy an army.
You're trying to borrow my Easterlings? Okay, yeah, sure.
I would be seen touching Easterlings.
Just kids, right?
That's that video getting demonetized as well, John.
Yeah, there we go.
Fucking all of mine are.
We
Right.
did pretty well
Just
until
just
we
edit
didn't
that.
have a structure,
You can
and
just
then
edit that.
Yeah, well, there was a structure to it. I reckon it went alright.
Yeah. So, final thoughts, closing arguments. How long will it take me to edit this? Probably 20 years. Maybe the next FAQ.
Just throw it up.
I think it was better than we could have potentially expected. But
Yeah, I think it's good that the game is being supported. Who the fuck's this joining right at the end?
But they did a lot more than they did in the. This is like
Hey,
all
Hansler.
the shit that should have been in the last FAQ.
Yeah, I think a lot of this should have been in the last FAQ.
Well, it's like the
Maybe
last
start again.
FAQ was just Bear grows big, move model.
Oh yeah, the bear can charge round the
They cut off everyone's foreskin and told him he couldn't use it when he's not on the table. That was like the only significant
Oh,
thing
yeah.
they did.
That's true. And Aragorn's a wee bitch while he's off the table.
Aye, they just like, fuck you, Aragorn. Like, I know you've been doing it for 20 years, mate, but you've been cut off. It's not happening
You're not on the
anymore.
table
The
yet.
Morse only get the ring of doing it as soon as they walk
Yeah, it's like he
onto
walks on the
board.
table and goes, holy shit, I've been wearing this ring the whole time.
The ring's actually on the battlefield every time. He just happens to stumble across it. That's what I said.
it's wherever you
This
walk.
rock. That's mad. Crazy that I'm always the one that finds this.
So it's right
right,
here in my
that
pocket.
was the question I had. So it said about, I'm going right back to it again, the Fellowship, where if Frodo's on the table, can't be broken.
Mhm.
Is there any other models with that rule?
Yeah,
Sauron.
Balrog.
Yeah, Sauron and the Balrog have
Because
got
my
similar
question
rules.
was, as if you played Fellowship against somebody else, that rule could technically neither army be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there like a situation where the game couldn't end?
Well, you just time
table
out,
each
basically.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, you just run
Or
it.
if you're playing a friendly, you're just locked in an infinite time loop with your pal that you can never escape.
Yeah.
Just the Balrog hitting Sauron at the end. Daddy, let me go
Hour
home.
22.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
I thought we were starting all over again because Hansel joined to ask
Hi, hands up.
opinions on every
Aye,
FAQ.
what's your thoughts?
What's your thoughts on the FAQ?
I've got a long list. I hope you're ready.
Fuck, should I just start the video all over again?
I think was justified.
I think that's a funny whinge when it's just like, oh, GW, you're a shit. It's like, this is not particular. You know what I mean? It's not into entertaining content.
Yeah.
Whereas like, GW, you're shit because walls. That's quite funny.
This is my first FAQ for MSPG, and I was
It's my first mummy.
well, compared to like, well, we go back to the GW story from earlier. Like, you're telling Jamie, it's not as bad as that.
No.
I didn't put any trousers on, I better not stand up. Right.
It's not really as bad as people make it out to be sometimes, is it? We get we certainly get better shake the stick from the 40k guys.
I think the fact that 40k changes like every week is what
It's
keeps me up
significantly better than the last FAQ though, because like I wasn't even joking when the last FAQ was just bear can grow, bears can shrink, and that's it.
But is that not a good thing that there's not that many changes to the game? The game doesn't need constantly.
It would-
Yeah,
it would
it's
be
definitely a good
thing
thing.
if there weren't things that weren't changed.
Yeah.
And
So what's your changes, Hanzar? He's a low down.
I don't know, actually. Something needs. I just felt the missing opportunity to do something about the Dragon Emperor, to be honest.
Yes.
I think that,
Everyone said.
That's what everyone's
absolute
like, that's the
joke
thing.
that didn't get touched.
As I've said in other chats as well, though.
Get him in the fucking bin.
The reason they didn't nerf the Dragon Emperor is because when they nerf all the other cringe legions, the sex offenders have to flock to one legion, so now they're all locked into that one legion and they're outing themselves.
That's true. That's true.
Are we still? Are you still recording, by the way, John?
Yes.
It's actually
is it because the Dragon
Chris
Emperor
Hansen.
cost like 300 quid to get on the table with a
Yeah.
black card?
I think so. That's their money makers.
Well, like, what you were saying, Lab, about it's good if they don't update the game. Assuming they'd done something to these things, the game would be mostly fine now. But then they'll bring out the next expansion,
And half of it'll
they
be
won't.
amazing,
it'll have
and half of it'll
some
be shit.
that needs to be touched, and they won't touch it for a year. So that's like the cycle we go through. Is like the game's fine. They just put in an expansion. We're waiting on the FAQ. They've done half of it. They've done the other half. The game's fine. And here's the next one.
But is the Dragon Emperor situation not similar to like? I was going to say, it was always like Call of Duty, when they released like new guns and stuff like that, and they were ridiculously OP until everyone had bought them, and then they're like nerfed. Does that know what
kinda
what
cheap
they
W.
do?
Surely Dragon Emperor's been out long enough that it's made the money back.
40k units where they bring out a new
You know.
troop of Space Marines.
The amount of sex
Incredibly
offenders you see in the GBHL page is incredible.
A lot of people complaining about the Dragon Emperor.
I mean,
That's
what,
usually why things get nerfed, is because they get moaned about.
And nobody's.
Have they potentially just nerfed all the Dragon Emperor's competition though?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think this is I think this is worse than FAQ.
Except, no, they buffed the Shire to compete with those Fight 6 hobbits. They're the new meta.
How do you get Fight 6 hobbits? Lotho and
Because, well, like sheriffs give them +3. There you go.
how?
But now Fight 6. Because you can use it 3 times.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, Gandalf for strength and will, you get like.
Well, he has 4 by default. So without even using Gandalf, you can use it 4 times in a game.
So you get straight Fight 7 hobbits.
Once. Yes.
that's all you need.
You just need it.
But I mean, I think someone said, I can't remember who it was, said it earlier, that nothing's been nerfed into unplayability.
Yeah, which is good.
But yeah, I think
Except for
everything.
bots.
I think all the things that got nerfed are still more than playable.
Yeah. They're just not going to be an easy win.
It's like Assault on Helm's Deep is no longer going to be a powerhouse at every point level, and it's going to be stronger at lower points, like it probably was already intended to be without the named characters.
It's just.
I just got Obelisk as well. I need to play with it.
I think it's still going to be
on
good
that
at
one.
like definitely 500 points and under, probably 600 points and under. It's still going to be a good legion.
So yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to give my bell a good old ring. Is anyone...
One's the designer's commentary and the other one's the actual.
What the fuck is
everything.
Connor doing? So this, which one's the designer commentary? Oh, here.
One that says designer's commentary on it.
Didn't realise we had Gary Busey in the Discord. Probably went over a lot of your head because you're quite young.
Yeah, I completely forgot to put clothes on, guys, sorry.
Oops, forgot.
Right, someone can send me the FAQ while I put some clothes on.
Such well prepared. Right, I'll put it.
Not
I'll-
any good.